I live only for victory, fashion and your blood. We will certainly meet somewhere. I will thank you looking in your eyes for watching my videos, your likes and tasty blood. Wait for me and don't forget to subscribe.
In the pulsating heart of the American fashion world, the name Lilith Valerian had become synonymous with mystery, luxury, and allure. Behind her breathtaking designs and high-end fashion shows lay a power that no one could comprehend, a secret known only to a select few. She was no ordinary designer, she was a vampire matriarch, descended from a powerful bloodline, and she wielded her beauty and intellect with deadly precision. Her striking blue eyes, an unnatural shade reminiscent of a piercing winter sky, seemed to see through anyone who looked into them, ensnaring their soul in a web of desire and fear. Lilith's rise to prominence was no accident. Each step in her career had been meticulously planned, each design an expression of her power and a tool in her quest for dominance. Only those closest to her knew her true intentions. She was building a secret empire, weaving an invisible thread of influence through the fabric of society. Her true creations were not merely clothes but a collection of powerful, beautiful vampires, models who mesmerized the world while infiltrating every layer of power. Lilith's unique vampiric gift allowed her to transform only women, a limitation she had turned into a strength. She chose her protégés carefully, hand-picking the most beautiful, intelligent, and ambitious women from among her models. These women, after the transformation, became her closest allies and her most potent weapons. Known collectively as the Veil, they walked among humans as glamorous fashion icons, each one possessing an allure that left men entranced and eager to do their bidding. The Veil did not merely walk the runways, they had a purpose far greater. Lilith's empire relied on these vampire women to infiltrate the world of powerful men, politicians, business moguls, tech entrepreneurs, and even military generals. With each new conquest, they fed on these men's influence, weaving themselves deeper into the corridors of power. Every show Lilith put on was not just a fashion event but a ceremony of seduction and conquest. As her models graced the runways of New York, Paris, and Los Angeles, powerful men and women in the audience unknowingly fell under their thrall, drawn in by the supernatural allure and elegance emanating from each of Lilith's creations. These clothes weren't ordinary garments, they were crafted from a special material Lilith had designed, a rare blend of dark fabric and supernatural alchemy that protected her followers from sunlight. She had learned to weave this blend after decades of research, using arcane knowledge and forbidden ingredients passed down from her father, the once mighty vampire king, Valerian. It was his teachings, his warnings, that had spurred her obsession with protection, elegance, and power. As a young vampire, she had watched him fall to human hunters and extraterrestrial forces who had decimated their kind. Lilith had vowed to survive, to thrive, and ultimately, to exact her revenge on humanity by bending it to her will. Every day, her empire grew. Her models, disguised as glamorous icons of beauty, wielded a supernatural influence. Each of them possessed the power to hypnotize, to reach into a man's mind and mold it, implanting ideas, desires, and commands. Slowly, they were gaining control over powerful figures in American society. CEOs were subtly adjusting corporate policies in her favor. Politicians were pushing legislation that would benefit her network. Slowly but surely, Lilith and her veil were gaining an iron grip on society. Yet, for all her ambition, Lilith was careful. She kept her true intentions hidden, spreading her influence without drawing attention. She was haunted by memories of her father's warnings, by whispers of a past when vampires and aliens had fought side by side against a common enemy, and then turned on each other in a betrayal that led to the near extinction of her kind. Now, there were rumors of strange lights in the sky, of movements in the shadows that even her network couldn't explain. Though Lilith's influence was growing, she was aware that she was not the only one seeking power. There was an old, lingering suspicion, alien forces might still be lurking, waiting, watching. One evening, Lilith called a meeting of her most loyal followers in her opulent penthouse overlooking Central Park. The room was bathed in dim, golden light, and her daughters, as she sometimes called them, gathered around in silence. Each one was dressed in her latest collection, dark gowns that shimmered with an unearthly glow, crafted to protect their skin from the deadly touch of the sun. "We are reaching a tipping point," Lilith began, her voice carrying a quiet authority that demanded attention. Her gaze was fierce, yet elegant, as if she were both a queen and a warrior. "The time is coming when our influence will no longer be confined to whispers and shadows. Soon, we will have enough power to reshape this world in our image." One of her oldest allies, Celeste, an ethereal beauty who had lived alongside Lilith for nearly a century, stepped forward. "Mistress," she said softly, "our reach is indeed growing, but I fear we are being watched. I sense an unease, a presence I cannot explain." Lilith's gaze hardened. She knew that Celeste was rarely wrong. Over the years, she had grown accustomed to maintaining a delicate balance between her ambition and her caution. But the thought of old enemies, possibly the extraterrestrial kind, watching her rise filled her with a mixture of fear and anger. The world might belong to humanity now, but she would ensure that the vampires claimed it next, even if it meant facing down any remaining extraterrestrial threats. To fortify their strength, Lilith issued new commands. The veil was to increase its hold on human society, and to do so quietly yet firmly. Each vampire was assigned specific targets, powerful figures in politics, business, and even the media, whose influence would help expand Lilith's reach. They were to weave themselves into these men's lives, slowly bending them to their will, all while keeping an eye out for any signs of alien interference. Days turned to weeks, and Lilith's empire continued to grow. The Veil became a hidden hand in Washington, their influence stretching from the boardrooms of Silicon Valley to the upper echelons of the Pentagon. Politicians were beginning to echo Lilith's ideas in their speeches, unaware of the influence guiding them. Billionaire tech moguls were shifting their focus to projects that would serve her interests, unknowingly advancing her agenda. Even military leaders were beginning to act in ways that favored her covert plans. But just as Lilith felt her grip on power tightening, an unexpected event sent ripples of unease through her empire. At one of her exclusive fashion shows in Paris, an anonymous figure appeared in the crowd. Unlike the enchanted gazes of the audience, this individual watched her models with cold detachment, as if studying them. His presence disturbed Lilith. She couldn't see his face, but the energy he emanated felt different, alien. That night, after the show, Lilith gathered her most trusted vampires in a secluded room. "We may be facing a threat unlike any other," she warned, her eyes flashing with determination. "It seems that our ambitions have drawn attention, but we will not falter. This world will be ours." A ripple of agreement moved through the room, but as her followers dispersed into the night, Lilith felt a lingering sense of unease. She had come too far to let her empire crumble, but the mystery of the figure in Paris gnawed at her. Was it a remnant of the extraterrestrial forces that had once plagued her family, or a new enemy altogether? And as the lights of New York sparkled beneath her penthouse, Lilith realized that her war for power had only just begun. The world was on the brink of a new era, one shaped by the seduction and cunning of Lilith's vampire empire. But as she looked out over the city, her blue eyes burning with ambition, she knew that the veil of secrecy that protected her might soon be lifted. There were forces at play that she hadn't foreseen, and in the shadows, her unknown enemies were preparing to strike.
If you want me to continue my war and drive to you, don't forget to watch my other videos and to like them. You know what may happen if you don't subscribe. Maybe I can let you live to feed me forever.